Yes, we're talking about dinosaurs. What is your favorite dinosaur? Tell me. Anything else? The one with the horns? No love for that? How about the one with the long neck? They eat vegetables. Dinosaurs are so cool. Yet, we haven't seen them around lately, have we? Well, apparently they disappeared a long time ago, like 66 million years ago. But why? Why? Dinosaurs, based on the bones we find, their body can literally be from there to there. And their head can go all the way over the ceiling. The one that loves plants, his head can literally be at the third floor. That's how tall they are. And their weight, 2 or 3 of your truck, depends on the brand. Dinosaurs dominated Earth for more than 150 million years. What could possibly wipe them all out at once? For decades, we wondered, and scientists searched for the reason, especially around the scene that marked the end of dinosaurs. It is covered by a thin layer of sediments, very distinct, with a very fine texture. You can literally touch this layer in a field of southwest Saskatchewan. And through careful examination and comparison with possible sources, we learned that this layer contains an element that is so rarely found anywhere else on Earth, leading to the suspicion that maybe it was brought to Earth by a space rock, an asteroid, exactly the same time as the disappearance of the dinosaur. But did the asteroid do it? If the asteroid hit Earth, there should be some signs. Just like driving on the highway, your windshield will crack around a little pit if it got hit by a small rock flying. Or if the rock is big and fast, your windshield will be smashed. Vice versa, if you notice some new pit at the end of the day, chances are it was hit by something. And that's exactly what we're looking for. A pit formed from the collision with the asteroid, but bigger. We call it a crater. However, the surface of Earth is constantly changing. Old craters might be covered up or even wiped clean. We need witnesses. Do you know somebody? Do you know somebody from 66 million years ago? I do. The rocks. They were here the whole time, watching quietly. When the asteroid hit Earth, a shock wave would be generated and passing through the surrounding rocks, causing external and internal changes. By collecting and examining rock from craters all over the world, we identified a series of changes that could only be caused by very powerful collisions. Some of these changes are as fine as your hair. And these tiny changes lead to the big discovery of a giant crater with a diameter of 200 kilometers under the sea, offshore of Mexico, formed exactly 66 million years ago. Now, we have the suspect, we have the evidence. How did the asteroid do it? Well, figuring out this part is tricky. It's as tricky as trying to recreate a delicious dish based on a photo taken on your vacation 5 years ago after a few cocktails. You remember the meat, juicy, perfect, with char on the outside. But was it cooked on the grill? For how long? At what temperature? Marinated with what spices? Well, I'm guessing you would want to make it yourself, right? Me too. I want to recreate the collision events, trying to recreate the changes we observe so we will know exactly what happened and how they're formed. But how? How can I make a giant collision in a small lab? Well, in early days, scientists used explosives. Yeah, no, I mean it, like C4, TNT, dynamite. You name it, they blow it. But the thing is, they are really hard to control, and they are really hard to observe. But we did learn. There are two things that contributed to the power of shock wave: pressure and heat. The combination of pressure and heat is very powerful. Thinking about cooking chicken. In the oven, hot and steady, 2 hours, your chicken is done. But if you add pressure by cooking in the Instant Pot, 20 minutes, the meat is falling off bones. So I got a pressure cooker. Not just a 9-in-1 Instant Pot like what I got last Christmas, but made with lasers and the hardest material in the world, diamond. When I squeeze the rock in between diamond, pressure is generated. The harder I squeeze, the higher the pressure. And I can adjust the heat by adjusting how much laser power is shining through the samples. And now, we are ready to observe. And just like we turn on the big light trying to find small things in the dark room, I used a big light to observe the changes. And this light is called the synchrotron. And we have one right here in Saskatchewan, the only one in Canada, called the Canadian light source. Synchrotron is a bright beam of light bent into a circle by powerful magnets. It can be millions to billions brighter than the sun. And it can focus down to area 100 times smaller than the thickness of your hair. Only with synchrotron, I was able to see all the fundamental changes happening in the rock, from chemical composition change to crystal structure change, as it happens in my pressure cooker in real time. My first visit to synchrotron was exactly 11 years ago on the Valentine's Day. I was in love ever since. I love how it smells. Well, it smells like a clean, well-organized machine shop. And coffee. Lots of coffee, actually. And I love how it sounds. It's humming and buzzing with excitement after too much coffee. But what I love the most is actually the people that work there, the beamline scientists and staff. They design the hardware, they wrote the software, they make the synchrotron shine, and they make impossible ideas possible. And these people make my visit to synchrotron feel like first day on Disneyland. And I want to visit all the synchrotron around the world. And every experiment with my pressure cooker in synchrotron feel like a roller coaster ride. Sometimes we go gentle, just a little bit of pressure up and down, and that's it. Sometimes we shoot all the way to the highest we can, and then they will be like, keep pushing. And then we'll keep pushing until the diamond exploded. There were never any boring moment. And by cooking in synchrotron with all these bright people, I was able to reach pressure and temperature as high as the center of Earth. And I was able to match the experimental condition with the natural observation precisely, making my own recipe for the changes we observe in the rock. And my recipe suggested that the changes we see in the rock, they were created maybe with way more heat than we ever thought. meaning that the collision with the asteroid is way hotter than we expected. What is even more interesting is that I created new rocks by cooking at such extreme condition. And these new rocks provide new clues for identifying old collisions without seeing the craters. Now, we are ready to reconstruct the worst day in a dinosaur's life. Well, on that day, 66 million years ago, an asteroid with the size of city of Saskatchewan hit Earth in the Gulf of Mexico with a speed 100 times faster than a commercial airplane. The shock wave traveled far and beyond, shattered and shaken the ground, vaporized and burned everything as it goes, boiled and stirred up the seawater, causing huge tsunamis. The dust from all the burning covered the sky, blocking the sunlight and causing the temperature to drop globally. All these sudden changes collapsed the ecosystem around the world. Our dinosaurs, life in the sea, plants, many of the life didn't survive. But some life did survive. After the dust settled, the sun is shining on the ground again, and the leftover heat from the collision were able to help the survivors to figure out their new life. Small mammals, they were able to hide. They survived. They thrived without any fear of dinosaurs. Some of it evolved into us. Even some dinosaurs survived. The ones with the wings, they were able to fly away and escape. Us, human beings, 66 million years later, learned how to fly from this bird. We traveled above the ground. We fly beyond Earth, and we even landed human on the moon. You know what we saw on the moon? Dinosaurs. Just kidding. We didn't see dinosaurs. No dinosaurs on the moon. Quote me on that. We see craters, hundreds of thousands of craters, all formed from collisions with various space rock with various sizes through billions of years. And our moon is actually formed from a giant collision from Earth. And we see the same thing on Mars, Mercury, Venus. It turns out that collisions with space rock is extremely common throughout our solar system, meaning that another one might be coming our way. If it's fast enough, dense enough, big enough, aiming at certain locations at certain angles, it might be the end of us, just like dinosaurs. But unlike dinosaurs, we have a plan. We are watching the sky 24/7, using camera network, satellite, and telescope. Our James Webb Space Telescope can see billions of light years away from us. If something is coming, we will see it. I will continue my journey cooking in synchrotron, producing more recipe for better understanding past changes in the rock and to better predict changes for future collisions. So we will know what to expect, and we will be prepared. We're also launching more space missions to other planets in our solar system and beyond. By exploring space around us, we will know more about our Earth. We will know more about us. We will understand how we get here. And we will know where to go next together. Until then, enjoy life without dinosaurs.